did Tennessee derail the Florida hype train? SC lost, but to who? And the Mad Dogs, they got mad. All this and more on this episode of PMM. Let's go. Welcome back to another episode of PMM. I am your host, Josh Cooper, and this past weekend had to be the most action-packed yet of the season. There's a lot to talk about here, so let's jump right in and we'll go over the matches in Week 4. Auburn rode over to Starkville this weekend to battle with Mississippi State in a match where both teams were looking for their first conference win of the season. The match was back and forth with several players on the Mad Dogs scoring tries, and man of the match, Alex Schultz went 4 for 6 on kicks. Ultimately though, the Maroon and Gray ended up on top with a final score of 38-24. Alabama went up to Lexington, Kentucky, and they did not come out on top. Kentucky came out strong with center CJ Leadingham scoring 16 of his team's 21 points, and Alabama could never really get an offense going, final score 21-12. And South Carolina did lose, but not who you think they might have lost to. Vanderbilt ended up backing out and forfeiting the game, which led USC to play Furman, Division II school. Furman, they stomped them. It is 44-14 the final. Furman showing out, and USC with the surprising loss. Their first loss of the season, but USC still looking strong in the east of the SCRC. Florida Gators going up to Knoxville to avenge a playoff loss that really hurt them last year, but Tennessee was not having any of it. Led by captain and senior Jack Donlin, Tennessee put on a hurting. It was 51-14 when all was said and done, but Tennessee came out strong and really showed Florida where they were weak. Florida really couldn't put forth an offensive performance at all, and they had a long trip back to Gainesville. After a wild weekend like this, things are sure to shake up in the rankings. Let's take a look at how teams are shaping up in their divisions. In the West, we have Alabama sitting top with Florida right behind them after that disappointing loss in Lexington last week. Mississippi State finally got their first win, putting them at third place, with Auburn and Ole Miss followed closely behind, but they are winless this season. In the East, Kentucky, South Carolina, and Tennessee all vying for that top spot. South Carolina has 3 wins, but Kentucky has been nationally ranked and is on the upswing. We are looking for them to carry out the season. Georgia is in 4th with 1-2 record, and Vanderbilt at a gentleman's 0-4. So a pecking order has been established. And how do we top last weekend? Let's move forward and we'll take a look at what the rugby gods have given us for Week 5. And that leads us into our Player of the Week segment for Week 4 of the SCRC. This is our favorite segment, and I think it's yours. We had over 1,000 votes come in, so the participation has been great. We are really appreciative of everybody, family, friends, fans. Everybody's contributions have been outstanding so far. Your first contestant is CJ Leadingham from Kentucky. Scored 16 out of his team's 21 points, had a hell of a match. And Jack Donlin from Tennessee, our second contestant, captain, senior, and lock, really led his team to the victory over the Gators 51-14. What a great match they had. And the third contestant, Mr. Alex Schultz. Alex from Mississippi State is highly regarded as the aggressive man on the team and led his team to victory over Auburn at home, getting their first win of the season. All 3 guys need a hand, but without further ado, here is our Player of the Week segment.
Perry Birdman here with Kentucky 13-man CJ Leadingham, coming off of a great game against Alabama up in Lexington. He has been awarded the Player of the Week for the SCRC, voted on by his peers, teammates, coaches, and fans. How does it feel knowing that you are this week's SCRC Player of the Week?
Oh, I mean, it's super cool just to be put, just to have my name put out there so everyone sees Kentucky and sees me out front. That's a pretty cool feeling. I feel like the team definitely had a great win this week, so it was easy to see Kentucky out there.
Where did the motivation come from going into this match against Alabama?
Well, last year we traveled down to Alabama, and they kind of put it on us there. They ran right through us. We had a particularly bad game. So we played with a little chip on our shoulder this week. We knew going into it, Alabama's always a very forceful, a very in-your-face team. they never backed down. So we had to bring that intensity to the game. We knew that from the very beginning that was going to be a key point of how we were going to win. We play Vandy this coming Sunday. You know, history shows they've shown us trouble in the past. You know, they've snuck up on us, and they give us really good games. They've taken us down a few times when we felt like we were the better team. So we can't ever sleep on Vanderbilt. You know, it's another step in our season we can't overlook. We've really got to focus in on this week as well. I've never actually gotten to beat South Carolina or Tennessee in 15 since I've played rugby. So those are two giants that I really would like to topple before my time at UK here is done. So it is really easy for me to look forward and to prepare for those, but trying to take it 1 week at a time. We have Vandy this coming week and then South Carolina afterwards. We are preparing for South Carolina a little bit because they're good at catching you on your heels, you know, when you're not prepared. So, you know, we're doing our little things in practice. We're going over all the tweaks and all of our little motions that'll hopefully help put the whole puzzle together as we go towards a tougher stretch of our schedule.
What are you trying to accomplish as a team for this year?
We really are pushing for that top spot in the conference. We're just as confident as we've ever been that we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to take down the Tennessee and South Carolina Giants at the top of the East. You know, I think it's time for Kentucky to step in. We feel as if we've got the team that we can beat anybody in the conference, anyone who steps in our way.
And that is it for this episode. Make sure you check out the power rankings over at purplemoosemedia.com/SCRC. Think your team deserves to be higher? Let me know. And remember, if you have content or information about your team, be sure to contact us via social media, and it could end up on the next episode. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, over at purplemoosemedia.com.